Well, joining us now is Nick Goodall. He's the head researcher at CoreLogic. And Nick, fascinating research out today. You would have been looking at this like many homeowners have been. What stood out to you about these new measures?
Yeah, look, I think it's the scale of the difference here. I think many people are aware that there is some concern about sea level rise. It's really the scale of the difference and how soon it's going to be than we maybe otherwise expected. And things like how much the coastline will sink as well. I think that was sort of a new way of looking at it, and certainly took my attention anyway.
It really personalises sea level rises for the first time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think there's been similar studies done in the past, but to really make it right there with maps and the public consciousness, that's what's really going to get people talking. And as we saw today, the public website did crash a number of times with so much public interest out there and everyone wanting to see how it impacted them, as well as maybe some hackers out there as well.
Do you think it's going to impact people's behaviour when it comes to property and the property market?
Yeah, look, I think any time you get more and new and detailed information about how something's going to affect you, it is going to affect your behaviour. As I say, there's been studies done in the past about the impact of serious floods around the country, one notable one from the 2015 South Dunedin floods, and it did show that just directly after the event, property prices were essentially discounted by up to 10%, and they didn't really recover back to any level of normality for another 18 months. So it does show that people are aware of recent events, but they do also quickly lose attention or forget about those impacts and go back to normality at some stage in the future as well.
Yes, absolutely. And these predictions are somewhat in the future. Nick, so would you expect it to have? How would you expect it to impact the property market at the moment, or is that something that's down the line for us?
No, I think that'll start to impact things right now. If you're right out there at the moment looking to buy a coastal property or any other property which might be affected by these changes, you're going to be a bit more conscious of how much more you want to pay for that property, especially if you know it's going to mean higher insurance premiums, which might then mean it's going to cost you more to own and run that property per year, and that might then factor into how much you actually want to pay for that property in the end as well. So I think you will see people using this information to help them to make a smarter decision and may adjust the price they actually want to pay as well, or buy that house a little bit further back from the coast as well.
Yeah, absolutely. At some point, those risks associated with the flooding will start to get priced in.
Yeah, I think so, and it could happen, almost immediately. It depends, how much this gets into the public consciousness, but I do think that many people will be aware of it. They'll start to weigh it up in their own thinking, and there's already a lot of things pressuring the market right now in terms of how much people are able or willing to pay. This is just another one that might cause a little bit more downward pressure on those prices, especially in those coastal areas.
Yeah, do you think it could have put some upward pressure in different parts of the market too, Nick?
Yeah, certainly. On the flip side, of course, anywhere that doesn't look like it's going to be too impacted by, coastal sea rise change or flooding in other ways, certainly you might see that as more appealing. You get more demand from more people wanting those types of properties and staying away from the coast, and see a bit more pressure there. I do think that one will probably take a bit more time to play out, but eventually, yep, it's going to see more appeal of those properties as opposed to those that are more likely to be affected.
Nick, thank you.